Hi guys, welcome back. This is Erin from Painting Those Piggies, and I actually have Millie with me today. So today I have a review of the entire China Glaze Chic Physique collection. As many of you might know already, I had a heck of a time getting my hands on this collection. I ordered it from Sally Beauty, which is where my notes are for this collection. I had trouble getting the last one of this collection, which was Get It Right, Get It Bright, which is one of the most unique of this collection. I ordered all 12 at the same time, but I didn't get the last polish, and it took me 2 rounds of customer service to get this polish. So that is why this review is so late, because I couldn't get the 12th polish. So I finally got it, finally got all 12 swatches. So let's get right into the review, because this is going to be a long review because there are 12 polishes. I don't always make it a point to review China Glaze collections just because it's not really my favorite brand. I don't have a ton of China Glaze polishes, but I was asked to review this collection by one of you guys, and honestly I really found this collection really pretty and really unique. So I bought all 12 polishes. There are 12 polishes in this collection. It's kind of like an athletic themed, like workout themed collection, which kind of confuses me. I don't get why. It seems like a weird theme, but there are 12 polishes. Most of them are pastels or brighter pastel polishes, which I am obsessed with pastel polishes. I also love cream polishes. So let's get right into it. I'll talk through each polish, so let's go. First off is Whoppin, which is one of my favorites of the collection. I actually wore this one before I even started reviewing the collection. This is just a gorgeous lilac purple. I consider lilac a warm purple. Some people are the opposite, but I really love warm pastel purples. The surprise to this is that it has a beautiful formula. Pastels are known for having terrible formulas, but this is gorgeous. If you're looking for an amazing purple pastel, this is it. Whoppin, it's gorgeous. One of my favorites from the collection. Next up is Low Maintenance. This one and a couple others from this collection have a little bit of a weird formula. For the most part, the formulas are really good, but I'm going to describe the formula in the best way I know how, and I tried to write it down to make it kind of easy to distinguish, but the formula was okay, but it had a tendency to run. The formula was thick but also runny. It's hard to explain because I've never had issues with polishes like this, but there were several in the collection like this. This was one of them. It was almost a weird thin but thick issue. It was thick, but it also ran down the sides of my nails. So this one is one that you have to be careful for. I did have to clean up my nails a lot after this, and I was being careful because I had to swatch with this, so I didn't want to have to clean up my nails, but it did have a tendency to run down the sides of my nails. And so it's I don't know how to say runny but thick. That doesn't make any sense to me. I know it doesn't make sense, but that was my experience with this. I will point out the other ones that were runny but thick. I honestly don't, it doesn't make sense to me, but that's what I wrote down, runny but thick. That doesn't make sense. I did only end up needing 2 coats. This one, Low Maintenance, was a very pale, dusty rose. It's almost like a porcelain doll kind of dusty rose, if that makes any sense. I did like the color, even though I tend to not like rose colors, but this one is so dusty and so pale that I did like it, but I just didn't care for the formula on this one, so this is one I would pass on. Again, that is China Glaze Low Maintenance, which didn't turn out to be so low maintenance. Next up is the pale aqua of the group. This one is At Your Athleisure. That is a tough name for me. This one is a Dusty Pale Aqua. It is not a dupe for Audrey. It kind of looks like it though in the bottle, but it is not. We've seen a lot of colors like this come out this spring. There also are a lot of colors like this, so it's a very dupeable color. So if you have colors like this in your collection, you definitely do not need this one. It has a great formula though. It only, oh, I've got someone sniffing at me. We've got a milli here. It definitely only needs 2 coats. It had a great formula, just like bar hopping. So if you need a good formula aqua, this one is a good one. It didn't have any of those weird formula issues, so definitely another great pastel formula. I really liked this one, but again, not a very unique color. That one again is at your athleisure. Next up, we have Athlete Chic. This one is another one of my favorites from the collection. This one kind of, I think, will depend based on your skin tone, what it looks like. I have a milli again. So this one is bordering on red and orange. It is a cream formula. I am obsessed with this color. I really, really like it. It definitely kind of is that persimmon orangey red color. I absolutely loved it. I wouldn't say that my swatches are exactly color, like dead on color, because it did look different in different lights to me. It looked different in my swatch box. It looked different when I was swatching it. The formula is amazing. It was 2 coats, amazing formula. A lot of these polishes had amazing formulas. This was one of them. So this is one of my favorites from the collection. I really love it. This kind of like corally orange red to me is amazing for spring and summer. I really, really love it. To me, it just reminds me of like tropics, gorgeousness. I love it so much. Okay, good. She's finally settled down on my lap. But I really, really like this. So I think this will look more orange or more red depending on your skin tone. To me, it looks more orange on my skin tone. Right now, it kind of leans more red under my lights, but I really, really love this. This is totally like a tropical color to me. One of my favorites from the collection. So that again is Athlete Chic. Next up, we have another one that I'm going to describe as runny yet thick. So another one of those weird textures. This one is called Pilates Please. I find that peach polishes tend to have a struggle with the formula. At least that is my experience. This one is again called Pilates Please. This is a dusty pastel peach. It really is on the dusty side though, almost leaning towards terracotta. It's really not a straight up peach whatsoever. It really is not like a straight up peach whatsoever. It does have a lot of dustiness to it, so it does make it unique in my book. But the formula, I really did not like the formula. It was very much like low maintenance, that like runny yet thick formula that I don't know how to explain, but something about those formulas I did not like. I didn't care for. I found them hard to work with. Like they were just, I don't know. I had a hard time. They were just running off my nails. I didn't have any kind of base coat on. It was just on my bare nails, so I know it wasn't interference with anything, but I don't know. I really liked the color, but I found them hard to work with. So I did use, let's see, how many coats? I did use 2 coats again, so that's not bad, but I found the formula hard to work with. So the color is pretty, but not so easy to work with. So that again is Pilates Please. All right, next up in the group, I really love this color. This one is called Glamletics. This is a very vibrant periwinkle blue. However, this one I wrote on here in all caps in my swatch notes, this has a terrible skunk smell. It is literally the only thing in all caps in my swatch notes. This smelled so bad, and normally I can't smell nail polish anymore because I've swatched so much of it. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. This polish smelled so bad. So if you're at all like sensitive to smells, even I was sensitive to this. It smelled so bad. The color is really gorgeous. It has a slight lavender, like purpley flash to it. It's a really, really pretty color, but that smell is really bad. It also had that weird runny yet thick formula. I did have trouble with this flooding my nails pretty badly because of that weird formula. It does have that slight shift to it, but if even I don't see it very strongly in the bottle, I don't see it in my swatch pictures either. So unless you're really, really looking for it, like twisting the bottle around, you're not going to notice it when you're wearing it or looking at it. So I wouldn't count on seeing that shift at all. You're pretty much just going to see a periwinkle blue cream. So this one, although it does look really pretty in the bottle, I would really pass on this because of the smell and the formula. I think there are other prettier periwinkle blues out there. So that again is China Glaze Glamletics. All right, next up we have Bodysuit Yourself. This is like a raspberry colored polish, and this one really, really surprised me. This one is like a medium kind of raspberry, strawberry pink. I swear when I swatched it there was shimmer in it, although now that I'm looking at it in the bottle it doesn't look like there's shimmer in it, but I swear there was, and in my swatch notes I said there is gold shimmer, so now I am not sure, which is kind of weird, but I really, really loved this color. There was something about it that's like vibrant and juicy. It reminds me of fruit. I think it is so fresh and pretty. I'm sure this is a very dupeable color, but something about it is just like fresh and summery. I really, really loved this color. It had an amazing, amazing formula, 2 beautiful coats, just like the other ones that had a really good formulas in this collection. I really, really like this. I swear that it had shimmer in it, even though I'm not seeing it. Okay, now I see it in the bottle. It does have gold shimmer. For some reason it wasn't picking up under my lights, but it does have gold shimmer in it. It's not super apparent. It's very fine gold shimmer, but I really, really enjoyed this color. So that again is Bodysuit Yourself. Next one I have is the teal of this collection. This one is called Activewear Don't Care. This one is a teal Crelly I have in my notes. I really wished this one had been a straight up cream polish. This one I had in my notes as a little bit goopy. I found it hard to apply. Next time I would apply thinner, but for me it was a little bit sheer on the first coat. I did have good coverage in the second coat. In fact, it was fully opaque in the second coat, so I can't really, you know, say that the formula was that bad, but I did have a little bit of formula issues on this. I do have colors similar in my collection from OPI and Essie, so I wouldn't count this one as one that I would go out and say, you know, you should go buy. This is an amazing color. I don't really, you know, like Crelly or jelly polishes, and this one did not have the greatest formula, so I would go ahead and pass on this one since the color is pretty dupeable and I didn't find the formula that good. So that again is Activewear Don't Care. Next on the list is called Work It Honey. And this one, you guys know I love a good yellow polish. Yellow is one of my favorite colors. I was really excited to see a yellow in this collection. This one is kind of a dustier yellow. It's not like a vibrant, like sunshine yellow. It's a little bit on the dustier side. It is a pastel yellow. I would call this more of like a buttercup flower yellow. It is slightly on the thicker side, which kind of works out because normally you need 3 coats when you're dealing with yellows, sometimes even up to 4 coats. But this one, if you're careful, you can get away with 2 coats, which I really appreciate. I did actually only use 2 coats in my swatches, so I think that's pretty good for a yellow. I did really enjoy this one. This is one of the best yellows I have in my collection actually, so I really did enjoy this one. I think the color is really pretty for spring and summer, so I am very pleased with this one. And that one again is Work It Honey. The next one I have is another cream from this collection. This one is called Pretty Fit. There's actually quite a few purples in this collection. This one kind of counts as a purpley pink. It's like almost like a dusty purpley pink. I think if I would count it more towards one color or the other, I would count it more towards, I guess, the pink side. It just kind of depends on your preference. This one kind of has a thinner formula, but it still had a good formula. I used 2 coats to apply it and had no problems. Even though it was on the thinner side, it was still easy to apply. I used 2 coats for my swatches and I didn't have any problems. This isn't really my color preference, but I can see a lot of people liking this for the spring, so I have no complaints towards it. So again, that is 2 coats of Pretty Fit. Next up, I have kind of the oddball of the collection. I actually had to save this more towards the end because I swatched these over the weekend and my husband wasn't home and I couldn't get this polish open. So this is towards the end. This one is called Girl on the Glow. This one doesn't really fit in with this collection, but this one is quite a heavy duty shimmer, whereas most of the other ones are creams or just have like a tiny bit of micro shimmer, but this one has a ton of shimmer in it. This one I kind of count as like a champagne rose gold, or if you want to call it like a very pale rose gold, you can call it that as well. It's got a ton of shimmer in it. It also has like little tiny bits of like silver, I would call it like micro glitter in it, that silver micro glitter. It's a really pretty polish, but something that we've seen before from other brands. China Glaze even has like a similar metallic polish that they came out with in their holiday collection that's kind of similar to this, just without the glitter in it. This one did have a thinner formula. I had a little bit of issues with it running down the sidewalls of my nails, so that is something to be careful with. Although it didn't have that weird like thick runny formula, it was just a little bit on the thin side. Although this did have good coverage, even though it was on the thinner side. I just used 2 coats to apply it in my swatches. So if you don't have something like this, it is a little bit different than the colors we've been seeing. OPI's Worth a Pretty Penny is similar to this, so there's colors like that that are similar to this. This one is just a little bit on the pale side, and it does have more of that silver glitter in there if you like that, but I think this one's a little bit like the oddball of this collection. So that one is Girl on the Glow. And the very last one from this collection, the one I had so much trouble getting, this one is called Get It Right, Get It Bright. This one is one of the more unique ones of this collection. This one has a cool lavender base and it has a ton of magenta pink shimmer in it, like a ton. You can look at the bottle, and the shimmer in here is kind of like a duochrome shimmer. You can shift around the bottle and see that it shifts from a pink shimmer to a gold shimmer, so you can definitely tell there's shimmer in here. Some of the shimmer does get a little bit covered with that purple base, but for the most part you can definitely see it. So this one is kind of your preference on how you want to apply it. I did 2 thick coats in my swatches, but you can also do 3 thin coats. I'm just more on the impatient side and would rather do 2 thick coats, but that's just kind of your preference, the way you want to build it up. But it's a little bit on the sheer side, so you will need to build it up either way. But I thought this polish was okay. I actually prefer cream, so I would prefer the other creams to this polish, but I have a feeling people will really like this polish because it does have that unique shimmer in it. So that again is 2 coats of Get It Right, Get It Bright. So those are my thoughts on the China Glaze Chic Physique collection. I actually really liked this collection. I have 4 like very strong favorites from this collection. 4 absolute like very strong favorites are Bar Hopping, which is that very first like pastel lilac-y purple. I really like Work It Honey. Athlete Chic is that like persimmon cream orange, and then Bodysuit Yourself is very much like a surprise favorite for me. It's that raspberry cream with the gold shimmer in it. So I was really happy with this. I already looked at the summer China Glaze collection. I saw a preview of it. I don't think I'm going to be getting that collection. It doesn't really do anything for me. It kind of looks like a typical China Glaze summer collection, so I'm not going to be reviewing that. But overall, I'm really happy with this China Glaze spring collection. Spring is my favorite time for a nail polish just because I love pastels. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you plan on picking up any polishes from this collection, please let me know down below. Thank you guys as always for watching. Millie was actually here the entire time, sitting quietly on my lap, if you can believe that. So thank you guys, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.